It is June 7th, a Monday, and that marks 1 week since we moved out of our house in Windsor. We are on day 5 of driving, so we spent the first 2 nights at our friend's backyard, the Cotes, and now we are in a place called Pancake Bay. Well, actually, that's where we were. Now we're in a place called Botchawana Bay, but we're staying nearby, about half an hour from where we're at the beach right now. And I wanted to come on and give an update on everything that has happened. I know I mentioned that we had planned on staying at, where were we? I don't remember. But just before Sault Ste. Marie, we had planned on staying at on a Crown Land site, but the road in was way too bumpy for us. We just driving like a minivan and a trailer, so it was not accessible for us. So then we decided that, instead of like struggling and trying to find a spot, it was getting late in the evening and we weren't interested in setting up another campsite in the dark because we had already done that and it was terrible. We decided to just grab a hotel in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. And it ended up being like the worst day of our whole trip, and it was the worst place, and we were so happy to see it in our rear view mirror as we left. So here's what had happened. I had booked the hotel from booking.com, an app that I use on my phone. And I obviously am searching for a pet-friendly hotel because we have Millie and we have the 2 cats. And this hotel, Days Inn Suites, was the cheapest one. We were just going to stay there for 1 night. So even if it was going to be a shitty place, we were willing to just stay there for 1 night. I had booked a king suite where it was like a king bed and a sofa bed, so that would be enough space for everybody. Now in the rear view mirror, hindsight is 2020. I see that it was partially user error, but let me keep continuing with the story before I back up. So I get to the hotel and I'm going to check in, and the man at the desk is saying that the room that we had booked is not pet friendly, even though they're a pet friendly hotel. That room wasn't pet friendly. And I think I just absorbed into my psyche from our culture that, the customer's always right, customer service, blah, blah, blah. I think that used to work in previous generations, but it seems to not work with millennials. It seems that millennials really they respond better to kindness. And anyways, so I was irritated with the drive, irritated with my kids. They were losing their minds the entire time. There was a lot of yelling happening, a lot of swearing happening. Everybody was upset. And we're boring Brandon here.
So tired.
And so by the time I was checking in, I was like, no, this isn't happening. I want the room that I booked. Give me the room that I booked. And it's not my fault that, the app was wrong. It's not my job to make sure that all of your information as an establishment is correct on the app. And the person at the desk, he was like, it's not our fault. The app got it wrong. This is the information we have, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, okay, then I need 2 rooms with 2 double beds, because that's what he said. The pet-friendly room had 2 double beds. And I was like, listen, I have 4 kids. That is not going to be enough space. And then he's like, well, I'll throw in a cot for free. I'm like, well, unfortunately, even with a cot, it's just not not enough. That's not gonna fly. So I was like, I want 2 rooms with 2 double beds, so both pet friendly rooms, and I want and I want to get it for the price that I paid for the other room. And he was like, that's not possible. So it just went back and forth like that for a little while, and then I was like, as the woman raised in the patriarchy that we live in, I said, well, let me go get my husband and see what he has to say about this. And so then Brandon began he jumped into the negotiator seat, and it didn't go any better for him, unfortunately. I think we basically just pissed off this guy working, and he called his boss, he said, and his boss was like, there's nothing we can do to help them, blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, they ended up giving us a $5 discount. So, I mean, what is there to complain about, right? I'm still not sure where I've landed on, who was responsible for it. I think it was partially my user error of the app. Partially the app had the wrong information on it, and partially this guy had the worst customer service skills on the earth.
Well, if you search for a pet-friendly room, and then a room comes up, and it says pet-friendly underneath it, and you book the room, then it's whoever provided the app with that information, it's their fault. And if that person was a subcontractor of Days Inn or an employee, then it was Days Inn whose responsibility it was, in my view.
Right. So let us know in the comments or in our DMs what your opinion is. Who is responsible for this? After we had dealt with all of that stress and getting the kids in the rooms and figuring out who's going to sleep where, I ended up apologizing to the guy at the front desk, just saying I know you're just trying to do your job, and I can appreciate somebody just trying to do their job, and just kind of apologized for my behavior and bad attitude. There's a fly on here.
Apologized for anything.
No regrets. Hashtag no regrets.
Many regrets, though.
So we ended up staying at this hotel. It was horrible. The air conditioning was basically just the setting in your car, if you just put the temperature all the way to cool without pushing the AC, that's what their AC was like. And it was 6 billion degrees in my room that night. And what else? Oh, the breakfast they had that was included with the room price was a paper bag with a muffin and an apple and a bottle of water. There were a couple other things, but basically it was just crap. And what else? Oh, the towel that I used to wash my face that evening was from a load of laundry that had been in the washing machine for 2 weeks before they had folded it. I mean, that's what it smelled like. That's what it smelled like and felt like. I can't say that for sure, but what I can say is that I do not recommend that you or anyone you know, or anyone really, stay at the Days Inn and Suites in Sault Ste. Marie. It was a horrible experience, and we will not be ever returning, and maybe not even using a Days Inn in the future. So we stayed there, and luckily between Sault Ste. Marie and further north, it's all along Lake Superior, right? And it's the Trans-Canada Highway that goes all along the lake, and it's basically just long stretches of beach that is beautiful. And thankfully it is also really hot here right now for the last couple days. So we've just been enjoying the sun and enjoying each other and the lake, and trying to parent with patience. That's one thing that neither Brandon nor myself were really expecting. Just parenting while camping is so hard. I know, driving with kids is hard. I get that. But we've camped a lot before together, and we have always enjoyed it. But I think camping combined with the stress of like we're in the middle of this big transition and nothing in our lives is the same, and it's, you know, for the kids it kind of feels, I'm sure it kind of feels like the end is not even in sight when it comes to this trip. And you know, long drives, we're trying to do less than like 4 hours at most, I think, when we do drive. And I think getting around the lakes, like I mentioned this in my Instagram story, but I think getting around the lake is the hardest part. So we are 7 hours from Thunder Bay, and at Thunder Bay we're going to be staying with my sister-in-law's in-laws. So Brandon's sister Melissa and her husband Eric. Eric's from Thunder Bay. They have a trailer at Eric's parents' place, sorry. And we are going to be staying there for a couple of nights. So we're camping here tonight. I think we're leaving tomorrow and heading to the Marathon, Ontario area for 1 or 2 nights before we head up to Thunder Bay. I think that is about the update that I have for everybody. We're camping at a place right now where like we don't have cell service at our campsite, so that's why I'm just catching a few minutes while we're at the beach. Usually at these provincial parks there is service, but not necessarily at these like crown land freebie sites that we've been finding along the way. So it's definitely an adventure, and I have to say Canada is beautiful. Northern Ontario is just a sight to behold. It's incredible. So we will update you guys again, and I will be more active on my Instagram stories once we have cell service on the regs again. Alrighty, thanks for checking this. Don't forget to follow my business page, Catherine Bolt, on Facebook. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Catherine Bolt, and like, comment, share this video, and subscribe so that you can catch all of our updates. All right, love you guys. Bye.